In this video, I'm going to be surviving 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. Now, before we get into it, there are a couple things I need to say. So first of all, this is on bedrock, so technically there isn't hardcore, so it's on hard mode. And also, this was originally a YouTube short series, so the first 50 days look a bit weird. I'm sorry for that, but I hope you enjoy. So let's get in to day one. I started off like any other normal Minecraft world and collected wood and cobblestone. I made sure to collect lots of wood because I wanted to spend the night mining. And before long it was night time, so I dug down and then I began mining and collecting cobblestone. In these first few days I struggled with food because I needed to set up a farm. And because the crops were going to take a couple of days to grow, I would only have a few apples to eat. So the next few days I decided just to go exploring because I wanted to find a village early on. And because villagers are now super useful, I wanted to be able to level them up and get some good gear. Then I found a village and I began taking everything and locking them all into a house. I really wanted to get a few librarians with really good trades like mending and protection 4, so I spent a couple days getting a lectern and trying to get good trades. I also found a Nether portal which had some decent loot, and then I also found a buried treasure map earlier whilst on my way to the village. Then on day 11 I found the buried treasure, which was pretty good. And on day 12 I started building a farm so I could get lots of crops which I could also use for bread but also for trading. Then on day 13 I finished the farm, adding a small carrot farm. Then I breeded my cows. Then on day 15 I went looking for sugarcane so I could get plenty of paper because I needed books to trade with my librarian. Then on day 16 I did a bit of organising with my chests, and I also got a cat. Didn't really do too much else. But then on day 17 I spent all day trying to get a villager which would give me sharpness 5 because I really wanted to be able to kill mobs really easily without them doing a lot of damage. And finally, after a long time, I finally managed to get it. But then I just needed lots of emeralds. So day 18 I got lots of sticks and traded them with Fletchers. And day 19 I built a mine, and then on day 20 I found diamonds. Since it took a while to find diamonds, when I got back it was almost night, and just spent the time getting a librarian which would give me fortune 3. Then the next days I went caving and found lots of loot. I managed to get lots of ores because of the fortune 3. Just look at how much iron and coal I was able to get thanks to fortune 3. I'd also been able to upgrade my weaponsmith as well, so that it would be able to trade flint and iron for emeralds. And with fortune 3, luckily it was able to get flint every single time. On day 22 I did more mining and came across a ravine which had a spawner and a mine shaft. Although I'm pretty sure I actually forgot about this spawner because I never used it. Then when I got back with lots of ores, I traded them with villagers so I could get lots of emeralds. This flint method really worked for me, and I was able to get lots of emeralds by just trading flint. And by day 26 I had found enough diamonds for armour and also got more emeralds so I could get a stonemason. Day 27 I traded lots of clay for emeralds and managed to put sharp 5 on my diamond sword. And I spent most of day 28 mining cobblestone, in which I could trade for emeralds, and then managed to get mending on my pickaxe. After this I decided it would be a good idea to go and explore the mine shaft which I had found a few days before. And I was able to collect lots of materials with fortune 3, but also the mending was really helpful. Then, unfortunately, I found my sharpness 5 villager had been zombified, but I wouldn't need him again, so it was okay. Oh, and I also killed him. Then I gave bread to the villagers for them to repopulate because I needed way more librarians. And Fletchers because I spent all of day 31 chopping down trees, collecting wood, which I turned into sticks and traded for many, many emeralds. Then I managed to get mending on all of my armour, and the next 2 days I just gathered resources because I was quite strong. Then I found another spawner, which I almost died at. Got a bit hectic. But luckily I was able to light it up and just kill the mobs. And on day 35, I spent the day trying to get protection 4, and which I did, and it was a pretty good price. And then I went back to the mine shaft and I came very close to death. And then on day 36, I wanted to build the spawner, so I spent the day collecting resources and then the next couple of days mining it out and turning it into a functional spawner. But not before I almost died again. This was very close. I was panicking because I couldn't swim, and then I was just able to get out. And then the rest of day 38, I spent at the spawner getting my pickaxe back to good health. Day 40, I renovated the house because it had my librarians, and there was quite a few in there. And then I built a sheep farm because I wanted to go get netherite. And I managed to find 2 ancient debris. And then day 48, knowing wanted more netherite, I went back to prepare my pickaxe. And then I got more beds and was able to find a lot more netherite, which was amazing. And then, it was really annoying because I went back and then I found out that you needed the armour things. So then day 50, I spent all day looking for structures because I needed those armour things to get netherite armour. But it wasn't without a few close calls, and I almost died a couple of times. This creeper, I noticed it, but it just snuck up on me. And I wasn't able to move in time. But luckily I was able to kill these zombies without taking any more damage, and I was able to heal up. And I spent the next few days just collecting resources from these desert pyramids. Luckily I managed to find quite a few, and I got loads of good resources. And I even got an enchanted apple. Quite a few diamonds as well, and a few golden apples. But still I couldn't find the armour upgrade. And day 54, I spent all day trying to find a cow to get rid of my bad omen before I could return back to my village, because I wasn't prepared to do a raid just yet. By the end of the day, I'd returned back to my house, and then on the next day I built a full enchantment table with all the leather which I'd collected from my cow farm. And then the next day I managed to get Unbreaking 3 on my sword from my librarian, and I went to collect lots of cobblestone. I managed to get lots of cobblestone, as you can see, and then the next day I spent getting lots and lots of wood. And this time it wasn't for trading with Fletchers. And then by the time I'd got all of the wood and cobblestone, I was now ready to start building my house. Because currently I haven't got a house, and I've just been living in a villager house with all my librarians. Now the next few days I spent placing cobblestone and wood, and this is what I've managed to get so far. Now if you haven't realised, this is actually the tutorial house from a Mojang construction book. I just thought it looked kind of cool, so I might as well build it. And it's quite big, so I have plenty of room for storage. I also managed to get 2 dogs, but then on the next few days the suffering continued, just constantly chopping down oak trees and placing them. Whilst I was roofing on day 64, I realised I'd done a bit of it wrong, so I had to redo it, and this took a bit of time because it was quite a big bit. I mean, the tutorial isn't super helpful in helping me know exactly the proportions, but then by day 66 I'd finished all of the windows and completed the balconies. All that was left was to do the floor, but I'll leave that for another day. So I went back to my spawner to heal my pickaxe. Doesn't it look quite good, that house? I think it does anyway. Day 67 was spent tunnelling through the Nether to find a fortress. Now even though I tried to stick to digging in the walls just because that's the safest way, I did have to bridge out in the open a couple times, and on this occasion I got hit by a gar. Luckily it didn't do too much damage though. Eventually I located the blaze spawner and I protected it, and then managed to kill all the blazes I needed and got everything I needed from the nether, and then hurried on home. On day 71 I crafted 2 eyes of ender and went looking for the stronghold. I managed to find it quite easily under a village. Unfortunately both my eyes of ender popped, so I was left with none, but luckily I knew where it was and I just dug down and found it quite easily. It also didn't take long to locate the portal room. Along with that, I also managed to find a library which was really good. It had loads of good resources such as templates and enchanted books. I was really glad to be getting these armour templates, as it meant I could now finally get netherite armour. And it wasn't just this library, because not long after I managed to find a mine shaft which led to another library, getting enough templates for netherite armour. I don't know if I'm just extremely lucky, because this always seems to happen where I find one thing but then I also find another thing, and then I also find another thing which is really good, and I get such good stuff. Like, this library was really good. I was able to get some great stuff, like another armour trim, which I thought meant I could get more netherite stuff. Like, in this chest I got some insane enchanted books. Like, look at that one, that's crazy. And that one was pretty good as well. Day 72 I got out of the stronghold and I did a bit of research, and I realised I'm a bit of an idiot, because it's not I've got the wrong things. You need the armour upgrades, which can only be found in bastions, and I've been finding armour templates. And this is also me being an idiot, because I decided to jump off here and almost die. I got down to half a heart. So, because of that, I just spent the whole night looking for endermen. I managed to get a few ender pearls, so I need quite a few more if I want to go to the end. And then from day 73 to 75 I spent trying to build this bone meal farm, but I built it wrong. Day 76 I was AFK, and when I came back day 75 I wanted to go get cacti. On my way I went AFK. I don't know why I did this, it was a stupid thing, and well, it didn't end well in an ocean, but I thought I was still swimming, and unfortunately I wasn't. Came back and I was drowning. I quickly quit Minecraft and then I reloaded it up. I was just hoping I had enough time to swim to the surface, but it turned out I'd unfortunately already died. Well, thanks for watching, and be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you want me to actually go to 100 days, make sure to leave a like.